Well, how is everybody doing tonight? Good evening. I'm TJ Miner. This is Mayhem Unleashed, the Friday night road edition. As you guys can tell, I'm still in the truck. I'm still at the office, and I'm still fighting things out. So here we go again. Now, I've got to tell you guys about this as I'm waiting to see if I have any co-hosts tonight, which I'm not for sure if I'm going to or not. But this was completely insane. You're not going to believe what happened to me at this shipper. So, I'm waiting in the dock. I literally just got my bills. I'm just leaving. I'm just getting on the road. This is not a good day. And I've still got 9 hours to get back to Springfield. So while I'm waiting in the dock to get on the road, and I'm waiting to get going, there's another truck sitting next to me. And this guy gets out of his sleeper, and he makes his way up to the door, and rolls his window down. I'm kind of kicked back in my seat like this, right? So no, I can't see anything out of my peripheral vision when I'm laid back and I'm sitting in my seat. And he kind of hollers, so I lean forward and I roll the window down, not even paying attention to him. When I look over and I see him, this guy is trying to talk to me from the cab of his truck, butt naked. He was naked. Dong was swinging. He was naked in the front in his sleeper. Comes up to talk to me. Now, here's something funny that's kind of a coincidence, but still funny. First words out of his mouth. Hi, I'm Steve. And I'm looking at this guy going, dude, you're naked. Why do I need to see you swinging? So he's butt naked and in the truck. Has anybody knocked on my door? And I said, no. No one has knocked on your door. Can you please go back to your sleeper so I don't have to see this? As I continue to wait at this shipper, and it was a wait, guys, let me tell you. The guys come out to let him know it's time to leave and give him his bills so he can leave. Again, he goes up to answer the door for his truck naked. I was cleaning the garbage out and the pee bottles and all of that, getting it out of my truck. And I was climbing back in, and I sat down and happened to look over, and what did I see? The full moon. So not only did I have to see this guy's flopping dong, I also had to see his bare naked ass while trying to get going down the road. Steve says maybe he was washing his clothes. Not at a shipper. Unless he's washing the clothes in his own piss, not at a shipper. Amazing. I just don't get it. I don't get it. So I literally right now, guys, Tyler's working. Jason's doing Wrestling for a Cure stuff. Tim Givens said he might come in. He might not today. I am literally by myself with no phone line even. I can't even take a phone call today because, again, I'm in the truck. We're screwed on that angle. So bring up something in the chat room. If you guys want to talk about something, let's talk about it. I've got time now. I got 9 hours till I get home. No, this is not going to be a 9-hour broadcast. I'm sorry. No. I'm already ranting and raving. So this place was so ridiculous. Everybody, it was ridiculous. I got there at 9 o'clock this morning. I was still on the air. For those of you that are Patreon members with Morning Disaster, or patreon.com/Morning Disaster. Please become a subscriber. And those of you that were paying attention to the show, you know when I got there because I was checking in during the Morning Disaster this morning. And I check in, and I'm like, okay, yeah, time to go ahead and yeah, I'm there early. My appointment's at 2 p.m. They said, oh, we'll try to work you in. Okay, cool. If you're going to try to work me in, that says you're going to try to get me in there before my appointment time so I can leave. No. I sat out. I was one of the first trucks there today to take product out. I was one of the first trucks there. I am the last truck leaving today. And I'm still about 45 miles west of Minneapolis on Interstate 94. I got a long drive to get back, guys. I really do. But I'm going to make it back so I can be in studio tomorrow for both Morning Disaster and this show and be ready to go. Tomorrow looks like it's going to be a wild one. And I'll be honest, there's something I'm keeping to myself that is tomorrow. It's my business. I don't want a big deal made out of it. I'm just trying to keep it to myself. If I could skip over tomorrow and just go to Sunday, that'd be great. That'd be great. I don't want to think about tomorrow at all. But yeah, Steve, you're right. They were slow. Literally there at 9 in the morning. I'm leaving at 7:30 at night. Wow. Just insane how they could take so long to get that done. I don't get it. And then they want to talk to me like I'm supposed to be okay with this. Yeah, I get in there to go pick up my bill, which obviously I haven't even put it in my book yet. It's right here. I pick up my bill and they go, well, it wasn't that long. I was like, I was out there with the trailer set, ready to go. What do you mean it wasn't that long? It was too long. You guys should have had me in the door and ready to go by noon at the latest. Give me a couple hour lead time. No, And then they put me in a dock. They pull me around back at 2 to get loaded. They don't get me in a dock door until 3:30, and I had to call the broker and throw a fit. Like, no, hey, I want to go. I've been here all day. I want to get on the road to get home. This is my go-home load. As you guys know, or who pay attention to the show, I'm normally home by now. I'm sitting in the studio in my chair, drinking a beer, having fun with you guys. No, hell no. I'm stuck on the road yet. Just ridiculous. It's absurd. Yeah, you're pretty close. It probably is going to be one of the last times I go up there because there's no way. I'm not going to do this again on a Friday. Friday is go home day, not sit in a dock and wait for somebody to have a circle jerk and cover the pivot point and then allow me to leave. This is go home time. I should be home right now. That's how bad. It's ridiculous. Yep. Retirement is around the corner. That's the plus. Steve's right. Sooner I can get to retirement, the less I'll have to worry about that, the more I can do the show and I can kick back and relax and have fun. That's really it. That's what it's all about. Just trying to get to a point where I can do the things I like to do, like hanging out with you guys. And not doing what I have to do to support everything. It's insane. So what's been going on with you guys this week? I know that we found out about Steve. Steve, you know, we've got you in our thoughts. We've got you in our prayers and our hopes. Because Steve found out, everybody, that he has a tumor in his spine. And let us know about it. I really hope that turns out to be benign. That's just it's a wreck. And we're hoping that you come out of it okay. Yeah, crappie fishing sounds good, Steve. I'm up for that. We're only a couple more weeks away from fishing spawning season. I mean, how many of you guys are ready for that? Spawning season is just the perfect time of year. You got the nice sunshine. It's a warm day. Get out on the boat. and go fishing. And the fish are biting and they're hitting, and you have a blast. It's a great time. I love going fishing. One of my favorite times of year is fishing season. Tomorrow, if I got enough time, I'm going to start the motorcycle up, get it running, take it for a spin. Missed the bike. The first thing I got to do is get through Minnesota and Wisconsin and get my way back into good old Illinois. It was a mess, guys. I'm telling you, it was a mess. So now we know that we can broadcast from the road. Crazy, right? But I don't think I'm going to change the schedule because you guys don't realize it. You know, I do the morning disaster every day, which I love doing that show too. Okay, so Steve says for fishing he uses crappie jigs and corks. All right, Steve, I'm more of a fan of tight line and live bait. I use minnows covered in old style. Because if you're going to use a garbage beer, at least use something that the fish like. But yeah, during the week, I mean, the only reason I haven't done this until now is we do a Friday night show. Yeah, this one's probably going to be a short one because I've got to pay attention to what I'm doing. And I'm getting ready to drive into Minneapolis, St. Paul, everybody. Yeah, boy, that's where I want to be today. That's, I stayed the night in Minneapolis last night, and I'm going to tell you guys what. That town is, yes, Milwaukee's best is a shit beer. You're right. Minnesota right now, Minneapolis is a hot place. While I was sitting there, I was watching the news, and I was seeing all the reporting on what happened there this week, and the police officer, because of that, the death of, I can't remember the guy's name right now. I'm that flustered. But all of that, he got convicted, and he was found guilty. All 3 counts. Sentencing is supposed to be soon. Well, here's kind of the thing. Now they're arguing about the square that they built in the neighborhood, and it's a real hot button issue as to what they're going to do with that intersection at 32nd and Chicago. The city wants to build a roundabout and leave the memorial in place. The citizens that live in the neighborhood, they want to keep it barricaded off. And they're fighting now. They're fighting the city, George Floyd, that's it. And they call it George Floyd Square. So the city is fighting to open George Floyd Square back up and allow traffic to come through in a roundabout situation, still have the memorial there to remember it. The county is trying to do the same thing. The people who live in that area, until the sentencing is done, they are fighting police and city and county officials from opening that square back up and preventing it. They're trying to keep it barricaded as a way to say, we still want justice. All we've gotten is a guilty verdict. Now we want the sentence. So for the city of Minneapolis, that has become a very hot button issue at this point. And I'll tell you what, I've walked up to a Chinese restaurant because I haven't had Chinese in forever and I wanted it. And that's where I was watching the news and catching up. And you could see that the whole thing just dominated it. You know, we hear a lot about it back home. All of us do. That square and that issue dominated a half hour of news coverage on television while I was waiting on my food to get done. Absolutely insane how amped up they are about this. Now, I do have an opinion of the trial, and my opinion is very simply put, politics should not cross into the justice system unless it has to do with a politician. Then it's going to naturally happen. In this case, it was a police officer, and it was someone who was unfortunately killed. But it has been recognized that even though, unfortunately, he lost his life, this guy was no saint. The politicians got involved, and they pushed for this conviction. And because of that push, I personally don't feel that Kavanaugh, or whatever his last name is, was really heard. And they had people that were alternate jurors that were there that they knew they were going to, one of them was on the news and she was talking about it. And she said when she found out when she was an alternate juror, her decision was already made. She was going to vote guilty if she was there and vote to convict. Let me explain a little bit coming back to our justice system and how it's supposed to work. When you sit down in front of a body of your peers, you're looking at 12 people, men and women, all race, religion, color, doesn't matter. Justice is blind. You sit down in front of that jury, that is supposed to give you a fair chance, and you are supposed to walk in there innocent until proven guilty. Although I do believe that the convictions of involuntary manslaughter were justified, I do not believe that it was a fair shake for him. And he should have been able to go in there with jurors that knew nothing about the situation. But it hit national coverage. So it's going to be difficult to find people like that. I think it was stacked. And I think that the politicians got way too involved with it. And we're seeing the result now. And now this week there was another killing that happened that was a police officer on a black man. Again, should not have happened. You know, there are other ways to handle these situations. Al Sharpton spoke at the funeral. Al Sharpton. Now I thought he was almost dead. And Al Sharpton's coming out speaking at the funeral, rallying the constituents. Folks, politics and the justice system should remain totally separate. And if you ever get called in for jury duty, I don't care if you've seen everything on the news all the way. Hear the evidence before making a decision. That's how it's got to work. And if it doesn't work, what are we doing? I mean, we're literally setting ourselves up for a big fall that's not going to be pretty at all. And it's not going to be pleasant. It's going to be disastrous. So we got to try to work together and find some common ground and some middle ground and get everything back up, running, and going in the right direction. This country has been through way too much turmoil in the last 10 years. And we are currently I don't care what anybody says, we are a nation divided. And it's a disastrous place to be. I don't care if you are staunch Democrat, staunch Republican, staunch liberal, staunch conservative. I don't care if you're a moderate. I don't care how you sit. After the elections are over, and we all know this, when they are over, that's it. Politics needs to stop. Running the nation needs to be addressed. And not worrying about what the last administration did. You have a legal process for that. Use it. And leave it at that. And start working across the aisle. Hear what somebody else has to say that may be opposite of you 100%, but hear them out. First of all, that's integrity. And as long as you have that kind of integrity, you're in the right direction. Secondly, it's what's best. Because I'm not going to agree with Steve. Brian's not going to agree with me on everything. You go through the cast. Jason, Tyler, Marvin. Everybody's not going to agree with me on everything. Brian. But I can always work with somebody because I keep an open mind. And that's a way of showing your intelligence. Keep that mind open. Use it. We all have brains. They all function. Use them. When you get a bunch of people following a bunch of other people based on an opinion, we run into big problems, and we need to get away from that. So, yeah, Minneapolis. And I can tell you firsthand, there's people walking around in Minneapolis that are scared for their lives. They really are. They really are scared for their lives. I saw it firsthand last night. Now, me, I'm a dumbass Illinoisan. I go walking from where I was delivering to right up to the Chinese kitchen, and I got myself some food, and I watched people walk in and out. They glared at me. And one guy just stood there, glaring and glaring and glaring and glaring and glaring, right? And I finally turned around and I looked at him and I said, hey, I see you like to stare. I mean, I must be really attracted to you. Hey, buddy, take a picture. It'll last you longer. I know you got a cell phone. He kind of left upset. And no, I was not carrying, Steve. I was not carrying last night. Usually when I'm on the road, I'm not carrying at all. I don't need it. I mean, why do I need to carry a pistol? I mean, somebody's going to pop around at me. They're going to do it. I got some friends that'll miss me. I got some family that'll miss me. But you know what? At that point, it was my time. And I'm not shy with that at all. I'm not shy with that at all. As you can see, I'm kind of keeping an eye out to see if we get any of the other guys who want to jump in tonight. And I figure if they're not going to, I'm going to keep it a little short. We're just going to do a quick one. And we'll be ready for a big show tomorrow night. I guess Jason's going to be on. If Tim Givens doesn't join me tonight, he'll be on tomorrow night. It's going to get raucous. And we're going to have a lot of fun. I didn't get to share the show like I normally do tonight. I'm probably going to have some of the phone conversations tomorrow between me and Marvin. Are you guys ready for that? I'll tell you what, that guy is a riot. Just various different stuff going on. Tomorrow I'm planning on trying to start the motorcycle, I said. Probably going to get a little bit more work done in the house on the plumbing. I think Sunday, though, is going to be a plumbing day. That's going to be all day, getting all my plumbing put in, everything finished up, ready to go. Let me see. Something I've learned this last week after I learned about this tumor. Yeah, exactly, Steve. You're right on it. Yeah, you never know. The day it's time to punch a ticket is the day it's time to punch a ticket. But yeah, probably get some plumbing work done tomorrow or Sunday. Of course, I'm going to do the Sunday show. We'll see how it unfolds. It's either going to be a music show like we did a couple weeks ago, and I've got to try a couple of disclaimers, or God willing, if they agree, and I'm going to send every one of the people I invited the link. If they agree to do it, we may have some of my old classmates from high school on the show on Sunday where we can talk about like the class warfare when we were growing up and some of the different things that we see now. And how we can kind of relate based on that. And I'm really excited. I hope that they jump in and they're a part of it. I really am looking forward. Even if it's a couple of them, I'm really looking forward to them being on the show on Sunday. And I'm excited. Some of these people I have not seen since the day we graduated high school, and I'll be able to see them on the camera and visit with them and talk to them and catch up. It's going to be a kind of a mini reunion, because if everything goes well with the show on Sunday, what I am offering my classmates, because I still have my Zoom Pro, is, Steve says his tumor now calls in on the morning disaster while it's eating your ass. I don't know why, but if my classmates, if this goes well by hosting them on the show and working with them and talking to them and relating and doing the catching up and having fun, I'm offering the class of 1998 from DMAC High School, because I still have my Zoom Pro edition, a chance to do a reunion on Zoom. And I will host it from my house and be able to do everything from there and do a Zoom reunion where we can all get a chance to see each other, catch up, visit. It will not be live. I will not do that to everybody, because we got a lot of shy people in my class. We really do. But to be able to take these folks and get them back together, visit, maybe, catch up, have a good time, I'm going to offer it up during the program on Sunday, and especially if we have a good reunion with everybody. I am outside Minneapolis, Chris. I cannot take a phone call because I'm live in the truck. So we got people calling the listener line. I'm sorry, I don't have a way to access it right now. If I did, I'd tie it in with my phone and we'd be good to go. But I do not have a way to access the listener line when I'm on the road. However, this does work out a little bit better for us, because when we get ready to do the live show on July the 3rd from Robin Roberts Stadium for the party box, and being there for the baseball game, we will be able to be live. And this is kind of the experiment tonight at the same time, just to make sure it'll work. Well, yeah, I might be young, but I'm still brash. Oh, man, I'm going to tell you guys what. Now, here's a bad side about being a truck driver. This is something that everybody should really realize if you're going to look at this as a career. If you eat something that gives you gas, you got to deal with yourself in the truck. And trust me, it's not pleasant. Because you're in a truck that's only got about maybe 100 square foot. You ain't got any room to escape. I had that beef and broccoli last night. It was great. I loved every minute of eating it. I got up this morning. I had gas. Oh, my God. The guy that walked into the Porta-John after I was done in it this morning, oh, Lord, I heard him complaining. He's like, I'd ask for a courtesy flush in this porta pot, but it's a porta pot. Where you can't get one. But yeah, we're planning on being live outside the stadium before the game. Game time is at 6:30, right around 6:30, and it is going to be a wild night. Yeah, you got to watch out for the phantom shitter if you're a driver too. I mean, that's a whole nother story, and that's all morning disaster stuff. Phantom shitter is somebody to be scared of. But yeah, I-94 on my way into Minneapolis now. And I will get into Wisconsin and then probably find a place to grab some fuel. Yeah, I'll give you a buzz later, Chris. I'm going to need the help staying awake. I'm 37 miles west of Minneapolis right now. And this is not a good day, I'm telling you. I cannot believe that they took that long getting this thing loaded. It's insane. So, yeah, July the 3rd, we're going to start qualifying soon. Tomorrow night, I have another family 4-pack for the June 13th game for the Sliders that we're going to give away tomorrow night on the air. So be ready for that. Love to hear the phone calls. We're going to do something we're going to have a little fun. So, I understand it's real short, guys. I'm sorry. I'm running out of things to talk about, and I'm kind of aggravated. So I'm going to cut it short tonight. And I apologize for the short show. I know usually we do about 2 hours, but usually I've also got co-hosts. So we will see you tomorrow night, live, 7 p.m. on Mayhem Unleashed. And at noon, patreon.com/morning disaster. Become a subscriber, and you can check us out at noon on Ray Lytle's Morning Disaster for the Saturday edition, which is the one now the insults have gone all week, but usually that's the one I get insulted the most at. So I will see you guys tomorrow. I'll do my best driving back, and I'm sorry for being so flustered, but I wanted to get on here, see you guys tonight, and make sure I delivered something for you. I hope you got a laugh, especially about me seeing some guy's dong and get mooned. And then, of course, delivering the turd that even gagged out a porta potty. So I will see you guys later. Have a good one. Good night, and God bless.